original.
Hello, and welcome to Webcrawlers, the podcast where we do a deep dive into some of our favorite mysteries. Each week, we will introduce our topic, lay out our research and findings, reveal some conspiracy theories, and conclude with our own hypothesis. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And that's all, folks.
That's all you get.
Melissa, who are our patrons for today?
We have Chet and Trent.
Those are some boy names.
Boy names.
Welcome to the team. Today we have an interesting episode.
Ooh.
I'll be the judge of that, says our listeners. On Nostradamus.
Oh.
Is he a prophet who predicted some of the most major events to date, including an upcoming apocalypse and the third antichrist?
I feel like that's probably already happened.
Right? Or is he a con man?
Oh.
And who predicted the future better? Him or the TV show The Simpsons?
Good question.
Let's get into it, because I don't even really watch The Simpsons, but I'm sure everyone knows.
I haven't watched it in like 10 years. It's still on.
The Simpsons is notorious for getting things right like 5 to 10 years ahead. It's
pretty crazy.
It's scary. So who was Nostradamus? He was born, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Michel de Nostradamus. He was, he later changed his own name, which is always a little suspicious when someone reinvents themselves and gives them.
You can't make your own nickname.
You can't make your own nickname. It's like when I tried to change my name to AJ and it did not catch on.
Okay, AJ.
He was a man of science and intellect, but also mysticism. He was born in Saint-Remy, Provence, France in 1503. Interestingly, he grew up in a Jewish family, but was forced to change to Catholicism during the Inquisition. So, Jewish king. It's alleged that he potentially descended from what's called the Issachar tribe, which were a tribe of Jewish mystics.
Are you a Jewish mystic?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm Ashkenazi.
I have 0.1% Ashkenazi.
It's a popular one.
Oh.
According to the Hebrew Bible, the tribe of Issachar was one of the 12 tribes of Israel and one of the 10 lost tribes. Yeah, religious scholars. Yeah, so allegedly he was from a line of Jewish mystics. At the age of 14, he went to school to become a doctor.
Oh,
Doogie Howser alert.
Yeah.
But also, I think at this time you live to be like 20 years old, so 14 is like middle-aged.
Yeah, your lifespan was maybe 30. You got the plague or whatever.
So when you're 14, you're already over the hill. And he was one of the most renowned specialists of his time. And he saved several people during the bubonic plague. People looked to him for advice. He created something called the rose pill that helped people during the plague and different, flus and influenzas. It was basically just a pill of rose hips, which has like antimicrobial properties. So he was into apothecary stuff, and he was using that mixed in with his science.
Neat.
However, he never finished medical school. First, it shut down during the bubonic plague, so he had to leave at 15 years old.
I mean, that's a good excuse.
Yeah.
I just wasn't feeling it. No, there was a fucking plague going
It's like how school shut down during COVID. But then he tried to go back, and I guess he was more or less kicked out because at this point he was really into mysticism, and they thought that the science and mysticism didn't align. So Unfortunately, he had a wife and kids at this point, I guess at 15 years old.
15. Jesus.
This is what I read. I mean, the timing might be slightly off, but they died during the bubonic plague, and he was so upset that he couldn't save them like he had saved other people that he went missing.
Oh.
In 1534, he totally disappeared. No one knows where he went. But he came back a decade later having prophecies and having changed his name to Nostradamus.
He just went on like a road trip to clear his head.
Yeah, he went into the woods. So in 1555, he published what's called Les Prophéties, or the Prophecies, which is a collection of 942 poetic quatrains which predict future events. So, which I didn't know about Nostradamus is that all of his predictions are 4-line poems.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're
I had no idea.
Me either. So they're all quatrains. It's not like in 1954 this is going to happen. They're very vague poems that people have dissected into.
Oh boy.
Yes. So
I thought he like wrote books and like.
Me too. I thought he was looking into a crystal ball and was like in 1882, there's going to be a fire in London.
Sailed the ocean.
Yes. But he was anyways.
Huh. Interesting.
He has
trains.
Yes. So and I'll read some of them. He had, and you can decide for yourself whether or not you would apply them to the things that people apply them to. People say that he has a quote unquote scarily accurate track record for predicting things like the Apollo 11 moon landing, the assassination of JFK, 9/11, World War II, air travel, the Great Fire of London, the rise of Hitler.
Oh.
A lot of stuff, but here's some of the quatrains. This is what people attribute to 9/11. So he wrote 942 quatrains, and he wrote them about different centuries. So
they're just 4-lined poems.
4-line poems. So this is century 6, which would apply to like the 2000s, I guess. And so he wrote this. At 45 degrees, the sky will burn. Fire approaches the great new city. Immediately, a huge scattered flame leaps up when they want to have verification from the Norman.
This is for 9/11?
So people say this is him predicting 9/11.
45 degrees, the sky will burn. Oh, fire approaches the great new city. I mean, great new city, New York City.
Yeah, it says, in this phrase, Nostradamus refers to a great city in the New World of America near 45 degrees latitude. Experts agree this could only be New York.
Degrees latitude?
I mean, I bet it's not, and people are just saying it. Let's see, latitude of New York.
Latitude, longitude.
Oh, it's 40. It's 40 degrees.
Oh, 40
not
north
not
by
bad,
74
not
west.
bad.
Okay,
Nostradamus.
New York's a big city. You talk about Long Island, or
okay, good point. He also says the king will want to enter the new city, though its enemies they will come to subdue it. Captives liberated to speak and act falsely. King to be outside, he will keep far from the enemy. They say that this is
New York.
Yeah, that this is still New York and what happened after, like Bush's response to New York.
Oh, I see.
Weird. So,
okay.
So that's one. Here's one. This is Century 1, Quatrain 87. He says, earth-shaking fire from the center of the earth will cause the towers around the new city to shake.
Oh.
2 great rocks for a long time will make war.
Okay,
and then Eruxa will color a new river red.
Well, that seems more. This is also what people attribute to
9/11.
Okay, that seems more the towers thing.
Yeah. So
Two great rocks. Okay.
New city will make war for a
That's
long
more
time. Will make
convincing.
war. Okay, so that one we can buy. The death of Henry II. This is Century 1, Quatrain 35. The young lion will overcome the older one on the field of combat in a single battle. He will pierce his eyes through a golden cage, 2 wounds made 1, then he dies a cruel death.
Now, I don't really know a lot about Henry II. He was
Well, it's a good thing that I do. No, I'm just kidding. It says Henry. I don't know any Henrys. It says I'm at the notorious website crystallinks.com. It's some website that breaks down all the quatrains. But it says in June 1559, Henry II ignored all warnings that Nostradamus gave him and participated in
warned him.
I guess, in a jousting tournament against the Comte de Montgomery. Both men used shields embossed with lions. Montgomery was 6 years younger than Henry. A tournament is a field of ritual single combat. During the final bout, Montgomery failed to lower his lance in time. It shattered, sending a large splinter through the king's gilded visor, golden cage. Along with minor punctures in the face and throat, there were 2 mortal wounds. One splinter destroyed the king's eye. The other impaled his temple just behind the eye. Both penetrated his brain. Henry lingered for 10 agonizing days before dying a cruel death.
Okay, yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I'll read the thing again. The young lion will overcome the older one on the field of combat in a single battle. He will pierce his eyes through a golden cage.
Correct.
2 wounds made 1, then he dies a cruel death.
Okay, well that's... And Nostradamus tried to tell him, like, hey, man, you're going to die this exact way.
And he was like, all right, poet,
like,
take
all
a
right,
seat.
Damus.
All right, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Then he wrote about the fire of London. He said, the blood of the just will be demanded of London, burnt by the fire in the year 66. And then the Great Fire of London was in 1666.
Okay, that's interesting.
He allegedly predicted the French Revolution. It says, on July 14th, 1789, the walls of the Bastille, the prison which stood as a symbol to the detested monarchy, were stormed. This was a precursor to the revolution that shook France and to the rise and fall of the guillotine that stood on the banks of the River Seine. So then this is what he wrote. This is Century 1, Quatrain 14, which is weird because the Bastille Day is July 14. So it says, from the enslaved people, songs, chants, and demands, the princes and lords are held captive in prisons in the future by such headless idiots, the guillotine.
Right.
These will be taken as divine utterances. Before the war comes, the great wall will fall. The king will be executed. His death coming too soon will be lamented. The guards will swim in blood near the River Seine. The soil will be bloodied.
I mean, pretty accurate.
He's also alleged to have predicted Napoleon and Hitler.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, who he claims to have been the first and the second antichrist, which are important because he also predicts the third antichrist who is alive now.
Donald
which we'll
Trump.
get into.
Elon Musk.
It's weird. I sent a text to you and Maria, and we'll get into who this woman, Dolores Cannon, is, but we'll get into it in a second. Okay, so
Putin.
It's crazy. So this is World War II and Hitler. This is some things that he predicted. This is Century 3, Quatrain 35. Again, he wrote 942 quatrains, all broken down by different centuries. So from the deepest part of Western Europe, a young child will be born to porn people.
Porn people. Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Sorry. No, this is Allie's prophecies. Quatrain.
You're reading the wrong
Yeah,
the
sorry.
wrong one.
Century 4, Quatrain 20. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay.
You gotta go back a bit.
Sorry, we're doing Nostradamuses. Okay. From the deepest part of Western Europe, a young child will be born to poor people who will by his speech seduce a great multitude. His reputation will increase in the kingdom of the East. Then it continues. Beasts ferocious with hunger will cross the rivers. The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hister.
Who's Hister?
So people, there's two different things. People think that Hister is Hitler, that he just got the name wrong.
Oh, that's a name. That's a name of someone.
It's a name of someone or something.
Weird.
So people think that he said Hister and it could be Hitler. Oh. But Hister is also Latin for the Danube River. But Hitler was also born on the shore of the Danube River.
Oh.
So either way, not bad.
That's pretty close.
Not bad.
Hister. I mean, that's weird.
Yeah. Specific much.
Yeah.
And these are written like a long time. These are written in the 1500s. It's not like, into a cage of iron will the great one be drawn when the child of Germany observes nothing. It goes on and on. The shocking and infamous armed one will fear the great furnace. First, the chosen one, the captives not returning. He pretty much predicted the Holocaust. He also predicted allegedly the Kennedy assassination.
Oh, shit. I'm interested.
The ancient work will be accomplished, and from the roof, evil will fall on the great man. They will accuse an innocent being dead of the deed. The guilty one is hidden in the misty copse. That sounds really vague to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, so there's a bunch of things. Those ones are pretty accurate. They probably left out the ones that don't have a lot of accuracy. But he did get things pretty right. But he predicted a third antichrist as well. And how we know a lot about this is through this woman, Dolores Cannon. And this is where the story starts to get a little funkadocious.
Uh-oh.
So,
she the old lady?
Yeah, she's the old lady. She's the old lady.
Dolores.
So, Dolores Cannon, she's not a psychic. She's not a channel. She's not a medium. She is a hypnotherapist. And she did past life regressions. Oh. And she has many books on past life regressions. And one day she was doing a past life regression on a client. And
oh no.
So I'll say this part first. Okay, so it's 1986 and she's working with a woman who wanted to do a past life regression. But during the course of the regression, strange things started to happen. The woman went into a lifetime where allegedly this woman was a student of Nostradamus.
Oh.
And the woman said, he would like to speak to you.
Uh-oh.
And
oh, God.
The girl continued to say, he has been looking for a link to the future because the prophecies he has written have not been properly interpreted and they are coming true soon.
Oh.
So, Dolores, go get the books and read the prophecies, and Nostradamus will tell you what they meant and tell you the codes and symbols and anagrams and teach you how to decipher them.
So he's saying that people are getting it all wrong. He's like, no. There's some things in there that you need to see.
Yes. So Dolores starts talking, not to this woman, but apparently Nostradamus starts coming through this woman. And Dolores is like, are you a ghost? Are you dead? What's going on right now? And Nostradamus says, no, you're talking to me in my present, which is your past. Like, it's me, Jessica. You're basically time traveling right now. He says all time happens simultaneously.
Oh boy, multiverses.
Yes. So this goes back to our past episode. Basically, Dolores was quantum leaping.
She was quantum leaping.
Yes.
Quantum
quantum immortality back to Nostradamus. So Nostradamus was saying, I'm alive right now in 1550. That's when you're talking to me. I've made a connection through this woman to you in the present, and I need to guide you through how to analyze my prophecies and interpret them. So that is how this romance began between
and she married the ghost of Nostradamus.
Yeah, and what a meet cute. So, and she's apparently Dolores claims that she's like talked to Jesus. She's talked to aliens.
Okay.
So to give you a little background, like but she's
a interesting woman.
Yes, but there are like devout Dolores heads out there who.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
She's still alive?
No, I think she died.
Because that was back in the 80s. Dolores,
are you here with us now?
Dolores, are you alive? Oh, she died 2014.
Oh, too bad she can't be a guest, or can she? Time to get John on the horn.
Oh, she's written a lot of books.
Yeah, a lot of them, and she has a lot of YouTubes too. She's on the YouTube. Let's take a quick break for announcements. Webcrawlers has a Patreon to get access to bonus episodes, shout outs, merch discounts, and more. Please go to patreon.com/webcrawlers. You can donate as little as $2 a month to become a Bimbo patron. Also, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. If you give us a 5-star review, we will shout you out. And Erios has a hotline. Insert jingle here.
626-604-6262. Erios.
It's really been popping off. We have tons of voicemails, and we want you to keep them coming. We will always play them unless they're garbled and we can't hear them on our mailbag episode.
True.
It's the only reason we don't play them. Now, back to our program. So, Dolores wrote 3 books called Conversations with Nostradamus, detailing the meanings of the thousands of quatrains and the predictions. She says in these prophecies that Nostradamus predicted the creations of supercomputers, the rise of the internet, earth changes, climate change, war in the Middle East, the antichrist, quantum leaping, the British monarchy. I don't know what that means. The breakup of the Soviet Union into independent states, the Columbia space shuttle disaster.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and more. But she most importantly talked about the Antichrist. So she says, first 2 more popes will be installed and quickly murdered.
Oh.
Leading to and this is what Nostradamus told her. First 2 popes will be installed and quickly murdered, leading to the downfall of the Catholic Church before the year 2000. So already her timing's a little off, because in this interview I watched with her, she's like, as long as we make it through the 90s, everything's going to be okay.
Y2K.
Yeah. She says, sometime soon after, the Antichrist, a flesh and blood demon who is now 34 and in hiding, will launch World War III with a nuclear terror strike in the Middle East. For good measure, the planet will shortly thereafter suffer an escalating spate of earthquakes, floods, and volcanoes, and plagues that could kill billions of people. Can you play that?
Happening now.
I know. Okay, she just got her timing off. Can you play that video, or I don't know if the audio's good.
The video where you accidentally shot a video of your dog on the couch.
It's like my toe and my dog. Oh, also, before you play it, let me say one thing. So she says that there's both the Antichrist, and then if we get through the Antichrist by having good behavior and redeeming our karma, we can enter the phase of the great genius. And this is how she describes the great genius. Okay, now you can play it.
This is who she's talking about?
Yes, the great genius.
Now, if the Antichrist is the epitome of evil, of everything that is terrible, he said this great genius would be the total opposite. Because he said the pendulum cannot swing all the way to the very evil man and stay there. It must swing back to balance. And when it does, it comes into the time of the great genius. And he will have such wondrous inventions. We will be living in space, traveling in space, having space colonies. The human body will be perfected to the point that it will never die and will be in the 1,000 years of peace. So this is the time I like to focus on, rather than the terrible things he saw. He said he wanted us to know there was a wonderful future ahead of us. We can just get through the end of the 90s.
So when she was describing that great genius, what came to my head was, I mean, it seemed like an Elon Musk type.
Right.
Someone who's super into technology. I mean, Elon Musk sucks balls, but like someone who's super into technology, space forward. Bill Gates. Yes, it could be a Bill Gates. Or maybe someone in that sphere who it could, I mean, maybe it's someone who's not born yet or someone, who's in elementary school who's learning from these people,
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. But back to the Antichrist. So she drew pictures of the Antichrist and Nostradamus described what he looked like to her.
Okay.
And she also has a birth chart for the Antichrist. By the way, so this initial person was who she hypnotized was a student of allegedly Nostradamus. And that was the first time he came through. But then she never worked with Dolores again because she was like, this is the weirdest experience of my life. I don't want to do hypnotherapy again.
Oh. She was scared off.
She was scared off. But allegedly, Nostradamus told Dolores ways to talk to him through any of her clients. So then she would just talk to Nostradamus through all of her clients. I'm assuming with consent.
Okay.
So I don't know. So this is what she says about the Antichrist. Apparently, the Antichrist is born February 5th, 1962. Okay, which would make him what?
February 5th, 1962. Birthdays. We've got Jennifer Jason Leigh.
I know, I saw that and I was like, oh no.
This list is
I looked
Jennifer
on the list.
Jason Leigh, Victor Rakov, and the Antichrist.
I know, I saw they listed the Antichrist and I was like, oh, it's like that well known. The other one is like a lounge singer from the Philippines.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. Wow.
But thankfully, the Antichrist is a man, it says.
Oh. Boo.
Actually, does it distinguish that? It doesn't distinguish that. It could be Jennifer Jason Leigh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The drawings are of a man, but
oh, okay.
You never know.
Well.
So this horoscope says that this Antichrist was
Jennifer Jason. This is weird because her her parents are Vic Morrow and Barbara Turner. Vic Morrow this is weird because my episode next week I'm doing on the Twilight Zone movie crash.
Yeah.
Vic Morrow died in the crash. That's who my episode's going to be about next week.
Okay, that's really scary.
I had no idea that Vic Morrow was... That's so weird.
Wait, that's really scary.
I was just reading about it this morning. I'm like, oh, Vic Morrow. I had no idea he died. That's weird. It's her. She's the Antichrist.
I mean...
It's Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Was she born in Egypt?
She was born in Los Angeles.
I don't know about this.
She was
Where was Vic Morrow?
Baumbach?
Who?
Noah Baumbach.
Who's that?
He's a director. Vic Morrow was born in the Bronx.
All right. Okay. Well, apparently the Antichrist was born in Egypt, but that's still fucking freaky.
That's weird.
I don't like it.
I don't like it one
tiny bit. We'll post these pictures, Melissa. If you click the link, you can see it. Dolores also drew 3 different pictures of what the Antichrist could look like. Unfortunately, none of them look like Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Who does that even look like?
I thought one of them kind of looked like that lounge singer from the Philippines.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. The third one looks like...
someone, right?
Like a Bigfoot man.
Yeah.
Very hairy. His face is very hairy.
Very hairy. Yeah, so we'll post these. No leads as to who but he's a boomer. He's like a 60-year-old man
Right.
living somewhere now.
Because you'd be, 60.
Yeah, and then I looked up.
How old's Elon Musk? Elon Musk was born, 1971.
So he says.
50. So he says, yeah.
I looked up things that happened on February 5th, 1962, and it says, during a solar eclipse, an extremely rare grand conjunction of the classical planets occurred for the first time since 1821.
There was a solar eclipse that day?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I thought that
interesting.
was kind of weird. So this is what she says about the Antichrist. She says the first two Antichrists were Napoleon and Hitler. She says that the third Antichrist, this is in the 80s when she talked to Nostradamus, the third Antichrist was in his teens at the moment and was from the Middle East. He will eventually come into power, whether it's through inheritance or connections. And the first part of the world he will take over is Asia. He will also be educated in Egyptian and maybe be known for winning the Nobel Peace Prize, since his rise is him making people from his country believe he's helping. Today, he would be in his 60s, and although his name is probably known and he has connections to the elite and world leaders, he doesn't like the spotlight or to be known. He is also very tech enthusiast. It's not Elon, but probably someone connected to him. This is from Reddit. And he will also bring down the papal line. Well, one of those actually pictures kind of look like bin Laden. So I don't know. This is what she says. She and Nostradamus talked about. He allegedly, people say he's predicting zombies too. He wrote, few young people half dead to give a start, dead through spite. He will cause the others to shine, and in an exalted place, some great evils to occur. Sad concepts will come to harm each one, temporal dignified, the mass to succeed. Fathers and mothers dead of infinite sorrows, women in mourning, the pestilent she-monster, the great one to be no more, all the world to end.
That's a zombie outbreak right there.
I thought he predicted depression.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he predicted teenage depression.
Oh, half dead, sad concepts.
Yeah.
Oh.
So here's some alleged Nostradamus predictions for 2022. Robots, the rise of cryptocurrency, so says the New York Post.
Well, crypto's kind of going down currently.
Yeah, I was going to say, so...
That was 2021.
Nostradamus wrote, the moon in the full of night over the high mountain, the new sage with the lone brain sees it, by his disciples invited to be immortal, eyes to the south, hands in bosoms, bodies in the fire.
Cool.
People say that he's prophesizing Elon Musk making robots.
Okay.
I mean, again, that's so fucking broad.
Yeah.
This is what they say is prophesizing crypto. The copies of gold and silver inflated, which after the theft were thrown into the lake, at the discovery that all is exhausted and dissipated by the debt, all scripts and bonds will be wiped out.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's credit cards.
Yeah. Nostradamus, not bad. Some hits, some misses.
Some hits and misses.
The Simpsons.
All hits,
A
baby.
lot of hits. All hits. A lot of hits. So there's a few websites, but here's a definitive list of everything that The Simpsons got right. This is from Joe.co.
Joe.co, love it.
Joe.co. They predicted in season 11, episode 17, Bart to the future, Donald Trump becoming the president.
Oh.
And this episode happened in the year 2000.
Oh, God.
In season 10, episode 5, When You Dish Upon a Star, this was in 1998, they predicted Disney buying 20th Century Fox.
Oh.
In season 5, episode 10, Springfield, which occurred in 1993, they predicted Siegfried and Roy tiger attack.
Oh.
Yes, which happened...
That was early 2000s?
Yeah. Which, I mean... we all saw coming, but
yeah, that was bound to happen.
The Simpsons had predicted the Super Bowl 3 different times.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes. Season 6, episode 8, 1994, they predicted autocorrect.
Oh.
FIFA corruption arrest, USA winning the curling, covering up Michelangelo's David, faulty voting machines.
Oh, no.
Homer works out the mass of the Higgs boson particle.
That's very specific.
The Simpsons predict the shard in London. They predict the horse meat scandal.
Oh, no.
They predict the game Farmville.
What?
Yeah. They predict Ted Cruz going on holiday during a crisis in an episode Margin Chains in 1993.
93.
Yes. They predict murder hornets. They predicted 9/11.
Oh, that's right. There's what was it? A magazine?
Yeah. So there was an episode about the World Trade Center. I can't remember who holds up the magazine, but someone holds up a magazine, and on the front of the magazine is the World Trade Center. So it looks like the number 11. And on the top, it says New York 9 cents. So it looks like it says
9/11.
New York 9/11. Insane. They predict smartwatches. The Beatles sending belated fan mail.
What?
Like, that's so specific.
That's so strange.
They predict video chats.
728 episodes. So I wonder if it's like,
Just probability.
well, because it's like it's a satire of American life. That's like,
Yeah.
what's the worst possible thing that could happen? And it's hilarious that maybe there's just so much of it that like
Yeah.
you can kind of pick and choose. Like, oh yeah, that predicted 9/11, that predicted whatever. But I think it's just because our reality is so stupid now that like our reality
This stuff is
satire.
happening. Yeah, it's like how Idiocracy there was like, oh,
Yeah, and how like
kind
the
of became
Onion,
true.
like everything the Onion writes like from years ago. It's like, okay, well now that's true.
Yeah, that's actually happening.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to know the future, I guess you can read some Nostradamus poems, or you can just tune into The Simpsons.
Simpsons, baby.
If you have any predictions for the future,
Yes.
what you think is going to happen, or if you just have some poetry that you want to read us, or if you have a favorite Simpsons episode, Melissa, where can people reach us?
You can email us at webcrawlerspod@gmail.com.
All right. Well, I am Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And that's all, folks.
Goodbye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.